Welcome back. In this tutorial, I want to cover the bridge command. And so bridge basically creates a freeform between two faces or edges that currently exist. So we've got a little bit of a setup similar to the example here. And one thing I wanted to cover is what I've done so far. So what I've done so far is I started out making a couple of work planes and a point. So I made plane 1 offset from XY, and then plane 2 is offset from the XZ, and then I made a center point that is basically the YZ work plane 2 and work plane 1's intersection. And I did that so that I could create this second box inside of this form 1. So now that I've got this here, if you notice in the model tree, when I hover it, it acts like they are one object of the two solids. And so what we're going to do is I want the faces of my freeform to line up with my planes. Unfortunately, when I changed the planes, it didn't change with it. And the way that we change that is we go to Align Form, we select a point, and then we select the geometry that we want to align with. And that's going to shift it up. And then I can do the same thing by selecting this point, this plane, and now it's going to push it over to the right. So that's kind of how we update based off of where our planes are. So let's go ahead and let's do a bridge, and we're going to pick the 4 squares here, and then we're going to pick the 4 corresponding squares on our other side, and we're going to hit OK. And we're going to get a bridge that stretches between those two. And then this is just like any other geometry. So if I wanted to, let's say, create a symmetry constraint between this face and this face, I can then edit the form, grab, let's say, this edge here, drag it over, and work with it however I need to. The bridge, also you can subdivide just like you can on a regular freeform. So that's a nice way of taking two things and putting them together with kind of a loft that's a lot more simple, that doesn't need sketch geometry. And then when we finish our freeform, we've got a nice solid here that we can work with just like every other freeform. So that's going to do it for freeforms. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next set of tutorials.